What does 1,000 army men look like? This is actually one of the first videos I did for the channel, but I held back from publishing it because I couldn't find the link anymore on the Amazon store page. Then I remembered it's not so much about the links as it is about the mission. If it's not available anymore, I'll let you guys know. This is definitely a mission about quantity over quality. Let's recon. This is coming to us via Toy Essentials. Now I can't find the links anymore for it on Amazon. There are still some toys on Amazon that have a link to the store page that says Toy Essentials, but whenever you click on it, it goes to a Buckley's toy page. You can go to toyessentials.net and you can find the link there, but it's out of stock, and it's been out of stock for basically forever now. Moving on, we take a look at the packaging. I think it's a good build quality, and it's a fair price for what you're getting. Nothing fancy, a plastic bag with a zipper on top. Next up, on to the deployment, and I was trying to keep this as controlled as possible, but this was a gargantuan-sized deployment of Army Men right here. Here we go. Wow. Wow. We end up with an absolutely huge pile of Army Men, green and gray. Something about that color contrast reminds me of a type of camo from SWAT 3. Next up, as you all may well know, is the overview. Now here you see everything all put together nice and neat and lined up, all orderly. But oh my god, just to get to this point took so much time and so much effort. So after the deployment, I'm over here looking at this huge pile of Army Men, and I'm thinking, oh my god, how do I set up for 1,000 pieces of Army Men? So I started counting. 1, 2, 3. So actually what I ended up doing was I separated the colors into their individual piles, and then from the piles I separated each individual stance. So now every column that you see is all the same stance. So if I remember correctly, the total number of Army Men that we actually had, I think, was 1,036. So you actually had just over 1,000 pieces. There were more grays than there were greens. The grays, I think that number was somewhere in the 600s, and then the greens had about 400 something. We go to the inspection lineup. So as I said before, this was definitely a mission of quantity over quality. As you see here, there's nothing fancy or amazing about these soldiers. The detailing, it's there, but it's not high def. You'll also notice some of them are a little bit skinny, as these machine gunners are. Now what I can say is that with the amount of soldiers, that 1,036, only a small number of those was actually broken. So I guess you can say quality control was pretty decent for the amount of soldiers that you're getting. We'll take a closer look. The gunner here, one of only 2 figures that look like they're ready to fire. And I noticed that a lot of these figures had this flashing protruding out of their backs. Take a look at this guy. He's about to throw a grenade, but as we turn to the side, you can see just how narrow he actually is. Then you have the riflemen here. There's a lot of the riflemen, but they're not even looking down the sights. Turning them around, we see, I guess that's a backpack. So the detailing is quite crude on these guys. The other thing I noticed here too was I think these guys are actually from different eras. You've got some that have this pot helmet. Looks like something from World War II or pre-1980s. Meanwhile here, this guy has a helmet, I think, from the 1980s. And also, he looks like he's carrying a M16. And then we take a look at this machine gunner guy here. I'll call him Rambo because he looks like he's Rambo running around, but he's a slimmed down Rambo, I can tell you that. Then for comparison's sakes, we have Timmy Officer on the left and one of these guys on the right. You see definitely a height difference here. I think the guy on the left definitely had a little bit better nutrition. Mission accomplished. There you have it, 1,000 Army men. And I gotta tell you, the challenge itself was fun, but it was one heck of a challenge. This in itself was one of the toughest videos I've had to make. I had to be real meticulous in setting everybody up. One wrong move or bump and they're all coming down like dominoes. And that happened several times. I remember my back actually was hurting because I was leaning over the table for so long trying to set these guys up. But you know what? It was worth it. And I regret not publishing this sooner. No pain, no gain. I'm Bill Greenwater. We'll see you next time.